So I think at this point you can get the idea how fast you can actually buy your very, very first Apaulet, which is gonna be this one. And once you get this one, you go to the vehicles, Astral Bikes, and we know like a really good deal was... Look at this, the plus 11 bike already got sold. But there you go, there's a blue one, plus 11 for 15 million, 80 defense. So you're just looking at the stats and you're comparing them to the value. For example, this one, it's RV3 plus 15, it's 60 million. But you get 200 defense, and 60 million is really not that much still. I mean, you can literally see I just did a couple runs that took me like 30 seconds. And look at this, already the profit could be like in the millions. So if you're not doing an Iron Man challenge, there you go. This is your way to make alts already. Alrighty, so we have done all of the gladiator quests. Right, and now we start to unlock the bitter cold ones. Now this is gonna be good. This is basically gonna be quest every 10 levels. And it's gonna be super important as it gives you bunch of stats as soon as you do it. And now we also unlock the Bloody Ice quest. So for example, if you started out as a Dark Mage or Blader, instead of Bloody Ice, you're actually gonna see Desert Scream here. Which, don't be worried, everything is fine. This is basically just the starter city. And this is also like the quest that you really, really wanna do. Don't worry, there's not gonna be too much questing going on. And look at this, as soon as we completed our very first Bitter Cold, right, now the Gladiator quest has shut down. And basically we're only gonna get a new quest every 10 levels. The reason why it's so important, in addition to the stat increase, you're actually leveling up your battle style. So for the Gladiator, we have like Rage Mechanic. And we're available to use our Aura, finally. So Aura just basically gives you a bunch of extra stats for a certain duration. Good, 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 good. So now we need to do the Bloody Ice quest. Bloody Ice Miles Guard. This is this guy right here. 3000 alts. So you're basically gonna be doing everything the same. Your goal is like to get the first 3 million alts. And I find it best to just get these quests out of the way as soon as you start. You know, so you don't need to do them later, because you're still gonna need to do them, even if you skip on them right now. Now also, if you don't know where to go for the quest, you can open the map with the letter M, and it's always gonna show you where your objective is. There you go, you see another herb is gonna be right over here. Special recommendation, Bloody Ice, okay, this guy. Also, if you don't get this auto quest dialogue, what you can do is basically just type in this. Right, you don't need to make the spaces, just do this little thingy right here and help. And what it's gonna do is actually gonna show you all of the commands in the chat. Now, I personally have the chat blocked, just mainly for the reason that my guild can say some really outrageous things and I don't want to get cancelled because of it. That's the true reason. Okay, Altar of Warrior. I think it's gonna take about... maybe like 2 hours to complete the quests fully, up until where we need the quest to be. Right, because we want to unlock Collection, Force Wings, we want to get our Nation. And for all of these goodies, we actually have to do a little bit of questing. Strange Phenomenon. I'm not sure do I even need to do this quest. But probably, maybe a good tip would be just to do all of the quests up until level 50. From level 50, we're gonna actually unlock access to Port Lux. And after level 50, then we kinda pick and choose our quests. Because if we do all of them up until, I think, level 54, we'll be basically unlocked fully. And then we won't theoretically need to do them if we don't wanna do them. But I think for my Iron Man challenge, I think it's good to do all of the quests. Especially the scenario ones. Just because the scenario ones actually have like really good rewards. On normal quest, yeah, these we can just skip, you know? We don't need to do those. Okay, Mutant Monster Attack. Let's pick up this quest. Because at the very least, I'm gonna get my ALs, you know what I mean? So your goal should be to get the first 3 million ALs. Now for me, since I cannot buy the Apaulet, it's gonna be a little bit harder. But don't worry. We're gonna get the quest done. We're gonna get the Apaulet. Well, you're gonna get the Apaulet. And then I'll show you the next thing that you should buy. Or at least the next thing that you should save for. Also now, a little tip. Once you're doing the quests, you can see that basically there's a different monster right here. We have 2 troglodyte warriors and just 1 giant snake. This is gonna be like an expert tip. We don't need to actually kill the same mobs. in these type of dungeons when we're doing the quest. Just go for the one that kind of just doesn't match. You know, since this is the only one, I'm just gonna kill this one. And look at this, these two died as well. So it's just gonna make your questing experience even quicker. There we go. Now, once you have the auto skip quest on, Kale actually bugs out. But the easy fix is just to relog. Go in again, and you're gonna be right at this room. There we go, and now it's gonna work. Okay, so we've been doing our scenario quests, but now I actually reached level 20. And as I said before, as you can see in the Gladiator tab, a new quest has appeared. This is like an all-time priority of a quest to do. So take note of my combat power, it's 142,738. So we'll do this quest, and then we're gonna compare the combat power, if it got any bigger or not. And plot twist is gonna get bigger. Okay, so the combat power, 42,753. Look at this, 43,672. You see why these quests are so important? And the same deal is gonna be happening. Once we reach level 30, another quest is gonna pop in here. It's gonna have a very similar name. And we'll do this same stuff up until level 200. Now also, another really good tip in Playcabal. You already start out with the max Transcendence rank, which means we can actually start using late game skills if we want to. Alright, so I can literally pick any skill that I want, I can equip it, and I can use it free of charge. So there we go, let me pick one like super late game skill. Which one looks the best? Chakram Tornado, man, that's... When you see a Chakram Tornado as a name, you pick it. Freezing Strike sounds really good as well, so let's pick up these two abilities. Just so you guys know that, you know, you don't need to start out with like the basic abilities. You can actually just jump really quick to the bigger ones. Wait, did I use both of them? Where's my tornado, man? There we go, Chakram Tornado. Put it in. You can actually see how they look. I think they're gonna look amazing compared to what we've seen before. Look at this. There we go, man. This is what it's all about. You know what, I think we might as well just switch to the late game abilities. I mean, they just look so much better. Now, let's see. Since I don't know the proper combo, I'll just pick the best ones from Transcendence and use them all. I think that's gonna be the easiest. Maybe Tornado I'm gonna take out for the time being. Freezing Strike, I actually preferred how it looked a lot more. And now just let me get all of these late game abilities and put them on my taskbar. There we go. And what we can do immediately, since we know that these are late game abilities, we can actually level them up. It doesn't cost any else for us, so don't worry, you can do it right at the start. And Freezing Strike as well. Now, since we're already in the abilities tab, another good way to increase your combat power instantly would be to actually go to your instructor and go to reinforce skills. And here we can see a bunch of skills. Now, these skills are actually gonna be passive. So all we have to do is just buy them for 1 ALS. Now clearly we made already much more than that. And we'll pick every single one of these. Now let's see, we have limited space for once you reach the G Master. You cannot pick all of them, you kind of have to pick and choose. So attack rate is good for any class, literally, so we're gonna pick it. Defense rate is also good for every class, so we'll pick this one. Now magic attack, if I was a magic... Let's say a magic wizard, dark mage, force archer, I would pick magic attack. Now, since I'm a fighter class, I'm actually gonna go for this one, impact control. It gives attack, and I'm just gonna pick it. And I'm pretty sure I don't have enough space for the defense, but it's 1 I'll just buy it, and we'll see. If I don't have enough space, that's okay. You can basically choose whatever you want more, maybe flat out defense or defense rate. Right, flat out defense is literally flat defense, so your opponents are gonna do less damage to you, while defense rate, I think it increases the chance of your opponents missing their skill completely, but I could be wrong on this, so double check this information. Okay, let's see, Battle Fury, it's a passive skill, so of course I'm gonna take everything in here. IEGs, Mortal Kombat, man, now that's a good name right there. And we have some regular skills. Offensive Sense, Defensive Sense, and Force Control. So then again, if I was a wizard or any kind of mage class, I would probably pick this. Since I'm a fighter class, I'm actually gonna go for even more attack. Alrighty. Now you can press letter K, go to Reinforce tab over here, And as you can see, we literally have nothing. So let's use everything that we got. And you can also take note in the combat power increasing. There we go. And I actually have even one more space in the common battle style section. So that means I could take one more of these. I could get for flat defense, or I could go for maybe even more attack rate. I think I'm gonna pick attack rate in my opinion, as I just want to have as much attack as possible. You could also pick HP. HP is gonna be really good. But just for me, I'm gonna go with attack rate. And now our lovely stream viewers has mentioned the correction on this point. So defense rate actually increases your chance to block the attack. We have another stat here called evasion, and evasion is basically gonna increase the chance of your opponent missing an attack. So that's like, you know, a little bit of a difference here. Now, since we got all of these, we should straight up put them to max level. And look at this, our combat power. 152,000 already. Okay, now let's put them to max level. You can just see how the combat power is increasing. As you can see, this literally costs nothing to us. So happy days. Okay, and now since we're already here, we kind of bought all of our reinforced skills, and we bought the best attack skills as well. What we could do is go to the sub-skill section. So sub-skills is basically gonna be buffs and that sort of stuff, you know? So obviously I want to take all of the buffs that I have. Even though I don't know what they do right now, you can always just read, you know, what they do. So this one explodes the hidden rage hidden within. I like how they used hidden twice, which feels like at least one hidden you can take away. Explode the hidden rage within. Sounds much better. Okay, so I'm gonna take every single skill in here. I'm gonna learn it, and then I'm actually gonna read what they do. There we go, vital charge, dread. So if your class has any debuffs, they're also gonna be in this section. There we go, and we picked literally everything. Happy days. Okay, now let's learn all of them, and then we're gonna read them one by one, just to have some kind of idea what it is. You can actually level 20 all of them immediately, as you pretty much want to get all of your sub-skills, you know. All the debuffs, buffs that you have on your character, you want to get them all. There we go, everything is maxed level. And now I think a really good thing would be is just to put everything nicely on our toolbar. So let's see. This buff basically, as you can see, basic stats, Fury effect obtain 10. So to my understanding, since Gladiator actually has this rage bar, as soon as I use this skill, it should max out my rage. Let's do it. And look at this, rage 1. Okay, so this is what the skill does. Where do I want to put it? I usually like to put my damaging buff abilities over here, and then defensive abilities over here. Maybe the aura we can just put somewhere here. So this one is neither that or that, so I'm just gonna keep it here for now. Now let's see, sight increase. Warrior shout increases party members' morale. We need to use mana to use the skill, and it's gonna give 10% critical damage and 300 accuracy for the whole party. Okay, so that's a very good attack skill. Or attack buff, so I'm just gonna put it here. Furious. Attack rate increases covered by rage. So it gives you attack, sword skill amp. It does take away a little bit of your defensive stats, as you can see. Damage reduction minus 250 and ignore penetration minus 150. So we're basically sacrificing defense for attack. So maybe this one, let's see. Since we're sacrificing defense for attack, maybe this one I'm just gonna put it here. And since this only gives us attack, we don't have to sacrifice anything. I'll just keep it a little bit further. Okay, let's see. Unbreakable. Gains defense that doesn't break easily. Okay, so that's good. So that's a flat out defense skill. So I'm gonna put it on the other side. Maximizing the attack ability with using rage while sacrificing defense abilities. Okay, so this is basically the same deal. We get more attack, but we sacrifice defense. So I'm gonna put it next to this skill. So now I know both of these increase my attack, but they sacrifice my defense. Lovely stuff. Rage Shield. Shield of Rage which absorbs damage. Okay, so that's just a flat out defensive ability. So we're just gonna put it next to other defensive ability. So I think having like some kind of logic in your toolbar is just gonna make it so much easier later on. Adrenaline of Rage. The inner rage boosts the secretion of adrenaline. Secretion kind of sounds like a dirty word to me. Am I the only one that thinks like that? Sending the character berserk, immune to pain. Okay. So we basically get a heal and we resist absolute damage. Oh wow. So that's a crazy good defensive skill. I definitely want to put it here. Now usually how I like to order them, the one that gives me the most defense, I kind of put it to the most right. And then the other abilities that give a little bit less defense, I kind of put them a little bit more left. I think this is going to be my strongest defensive ability, so I'm just going to put it the most right one. There we go. I think it's fine like this. Rage resist. Temporarily resist enemy attacks. So what they mean by that is we resist getting knocked back, we resist getting stunned, and we resist getting downed. Okay, so this one can be somewhere maybe in the middle. Okay, for now I'll just put it here. Vital charge. Replenish HP by pressuring down rage. So that's a nice heal right there. The heal, I think I would actually like to have it here. Maybe the heal is gonna be here, and then increasing our range is gonna be here. And resisting down and knockbacks and stun could be potentially here, right? Because there's a limited amount of enemies that can actually knock you down or knock you back or even stun you. You know, so this is gonna be like very, very situational buff to use. We're not gonna use it all the time. And then the dread, I think it's my debuff, my one and only debuff. Make the subject shiver in fear and decrease his defense. Okay, so I'm actually gonna shift all of these a little bit here, as I do want my debuff to be over here. Since it's the only one, it's gonna be pretty easy to use. Okay, so attack abilities that sacrifice defense, attack abilities that don't sacrifice anything, and then my pure out defensive abilities. Then my debuff here, I have my heal here, I can gain some rage with this buff, and very situational buff over here. Okay, so it feels like I still have 2 more spaces here, so maybe these 2, I'm just gonna put in here. There we go. And now I think it looks pretty. So I have my debuff here, my heal here. If we ever need rage, we can press this button, super situational buff over here, and then all of the defensives and attack buffs are right here. Alrighty, man. This may increase the population of Gladiator if you played it well, providing everyone that this is an OP character. Yeah, but still, I've never played Gladiator myself, you know, so I still don't know if it's actually OP character. But we're about to find out. Alrighty, so we have all of the skills set up. We can actually continue questing. Okay, so this is really, really good. Look at this. We have plenty of fighters, right? But only one hunter. So instead of just killing all of the fighters, let's try to do some damage to the hunter. And look at this, it broke the gate. So this is like a little bit of a trick. You know, you just need to get the pattern of it. Here we see plenty of hunters and only one fighter, right? And we see that we cannot go further. So let me try to kill this fighter. And look at this, it opened the gate. This is gonna save you a lot of time when grinding these quest dungeons. Now, you might also see this special gift box button right here. If you press it, as you can see, it's basically a little bit of a gift boxes that basically this one takes 50 minutes to fully charge, this one takes an hour and a bit. Later on, we're gonna unlock these 2 as well. These are not super important. All they do is just give you a little bit of a coupons. And those coupons we can actually spend in Bloody Ice City. And we see this special coupon machine. And as you can see, like, for example, here we need like 100 coupons. I currently have 8 right now. And you can just get basically like really nice stuff for those coupons. So for now, until we don't have a big amount of coupons, we don't need to worry about it. Let's try to get at least a couple hundred before we even start looking at what we want to buy for them. The only thing with the coupons is they do have an expiry date, right? As you can see, my coupons are gonna expire on 29th, 5 AM. So we do have plenty of time to use the coupons, but just beware that they do expire. Okay, look at this here as well. We do see quite a few fighters. I just killed 2 more fighters and nothing happened. Quite a few warriors, but only 1 ranger. So let me try to target the ranger, and look at this, everyone dies. So especially when questing, this is really good to know. Okay, now as you can see, we get a little bit more of the quests, but it's important that we do all of the scenario quests up until level 54. And the normals you can just literally forget, unless you want to do them, just for your own sake. As you can see, they do give a little bit of ALs, a little bit of XP, and a little bit of honor points. But then again, the amount is not really substantial enough for us to go and actually focus on all of the normal quests. Scenario quest is always gonna have much better rewards, so we just focus on those. Ooh, Soul Core. I'm really glad that I dropped this, because this brings me to my second point. Once we actually unlock collection, there's an event going right now, right, where we can actually get some really strong accessories for limited duration. So these soul cores are gonna be really, really useful. So make sure you pick every single one that you drop. There we go, level 30. So we reached level 30. You guys should already know what time it is. We go to the quest menu and look at this. A new bitter cold quest has been added. So we want to do this one immediately as it's gonna increase our combat power. Okay, so let's just go there. Bitter cold 3. There we go, right here. Go to the instructor. And as you can see, like, these bitter cold quests are extremely quick as well. All we have to do is just kill a little bit of mobs and that's it. Couldn't get any easier than that. There we go. And I think I finished it. It literally took me, what, like 10-15 seconds to complete this quest. And now I can enjoy, look at this, I actually unlocked the combo bar. Combo bar is gonna be really, really important. Here it doesn't really matter what we pick, as we already, as you can see, it says already trained skill. We already picked it up for 1 ALS. So we just pick anything here and accept the rewards. Now the combo is gonna be displayed in special skills. If we just zoom out a little bit further, look at this, combo is right over here. I like to put my combo over here. And as you can see, I got it key binded to letter Q. It just makes it easier for me. Instead of pressing like 6, 7, or 8, I just press Q and my combo starts. Now also what I can see is I have unlocked my very first battle mode. So in total, every class is gonna have 3 battle modes. The very first one, which is basically the most useless one, but then BM2, which is gonna come at level 50, and BM3, which is gonna come at level 130. And the BM2 and BM3, you're basically gonna be using all of the time, right? It's basically just increasing your character, all of the defensive and offensive stats for set duration. And BM2 and BM3 actually has like another cool twist on it, that it actually changes your weapon and the way that you attack. BM1, which is right now this one, only increases the stats. It doesn't really increase the way or change the way how we actually kill the mobs. But I'm gonna keep it for now. Because yeah, maybe the only thing that I didn't mention is that we're actually doing, today is Friday. And in our server, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, you get basically a really big XP boost. So this is gonna be perfect for us, as it's gonna make it easier for us to level up, rather than if we were doing this on a work day like Monday to Thursday. But all of the leveling up is gonna start roughly at level 54, once we actually got our scenario quests out of the way. And this is a little bit too bright for me. I can actually do it like this. And now it looks better. Okay, look at this. We can see the similar theme going on. We have a lot of hound zombies, but only one pantherhorn zombie. So let me just try and kill this guy. Well, actually accidentally killed all of them. So my point has not really been made. There we go. Let me try just to kill this one guy. There we go. And now let's see if this allows me to complete my quest. And it does. It spawns more minions. I will only focus the zombie one. And then give in the quest. And just repeat that until the whole dungeon is finished. There we go. Mysterious maze. Wasn't even that mysterious, to be fair. Also, guys, another really good tip. As soon as you join, you can check out the cash shop. Now, the cash shop, don't be confused by the name, right? You don't need to spend anything here. Look at this. We have limited time. If we press on that, we're actually gonna see a daily login reward. And you can see the timer, right? So basically in 11 hours, 45 minutes, we'll be able to purchase this one more time. So all you need to do is purchase it for 0 force gems. So it's literally free. And what that is gonna give us, we can check. Boom. Where are they? Oh, maybe I cannot buy it right now. I will be only available to buy it in 11 hours, 45 minutes. Okay, well then I'm gonna wait 11 hours, 45 minutes, and then I'm gonna buy it. But yeah, whenever you log in, it's just best to do it. These are actually really good dungeons to do. Too hard for us right now, but once we get stronger, we'll be able to do them. Had an issue with that when I just started. Maybe you need to be at least level 110 to actually use it. I mean, that could be the case. That could be the case. Fortunate enough, for us to reach 110, it's gonna be super easy, right? The only reason we're taking it slow right now, as we're building the foundation first. And all of this process of doing this quest is only gonna take like hour, an hour and a half at best. So I think, you know, it's best to do it as soon as you join. So then again, look at this. We reached level 40, and therefore a new level 40 Bitter Cold quest has come up. So we're gonna take it immediately, as it's gonna increase our stats. So for now, you can basically consider this that every 10 levels, we're increasing our combat power. And increasing your combat power is literally like the best thing you can do in game. There we go. Let me just see, do I get my bike? Ooh. Okay guys, look at this. We reached level 40, and in the normal quest, we actually have this quest right here, Astral Board License. So this is basically a license for you to start equipping your mount. We don't have any mount right now, but we want to do this quest for sure, for sure. So let's just speak with this guy, Astral Board License. There we go. It's gonna require us to speak with the officer of every starter city. Let's just do that. This quest is like really easy. So as soon as you unlock it, you should theoretically do it. There we go, Astral Board License. Let's go back to the Green Despair, speak with this guy. And look at this. The skill is now at our disposal. Then again, it's gonna be in the special skill tab. Happy freaking days, man. We already got it. So now we could use an Astral Board. Now, as you can see, I don't have any Astral Boards for right now, but we'll get them later. If you're not doing a hardcore Iron Man challenge, what I would highly suggest, right, is go to the agent shop, which is basically the marketplace. You can look for vehicles. So we already know that, you know, you should buy the Apaulet. So let's say for my class, I would actually go with this Apaulet, Paladinium, as it's super cheap and it gives really good stats. You can see that you can only equip it from level 155, but as soon as you have the money, you can buy it. Like, this is really not a big amount of alls, right? And now when we look for the vehicles, we actually look for astral bikes, not boards, because bikes are actually better than boards. And we're gonna unlock bikes soon enough. And there we go. Now you can see the price is a little bit bigger, but don't be intimidated. That's still peasant money, actually. So what I would go and look for is basically a blue bike with as much plus as possible. So we can see, look at this. With 0 plus, it's 10 million. Plus 8, it's literally the same price. And if you can see the defense difference. This one gives 20 defense, this one gives 58. So I can see plus 11 for 15 million. That's very good value still. And then the RV3 bikes, it's basically like a better tier of bikes than the blue ones. So that's why even plus 0 RV3 gives 40 million. So we can see that, there we go, look at this, RV3 plus 11 for only 25 million. And don't be fooled, we can farm this 25 million literally in matter of minutes. Probably in half an hour, right? So I would really just buy this straight from my top, you know? Because this gives you 140 defense, 630 defense rate. And it's equipable from level 80. So there you go, we found a really good deal. Since I'm an Iron Man and I'm not allowed to use trading of any kind apart from NPCs, this is not a viable option for me. But if you're not doing Iron Man and you just want to play the game normally, bruv, buy this. So for now, with just like less than 30 million, you can upgrade your character tremendously. Alrighty. So let's get back to the questing part, because we still have some quests that we need to do. Okay, now this one is a very interesting dungeon. As you can see, it goes on for a very long time. Now, when I just joined the game, I thought that I'm supposed to kill all of the mobs in here, but actually it's not true. We can just go to the very end of this dungeon, and there you go. You see Moss Cutter Plus. It's literally the only monster here. So I'm just gonna destroy it and everything else dies, and we actually complete the dungeon just like that. So as you can see, like, we were noticing that the amount of quests are reducing bit by bit. And we're really close to level 54 quests. Because once we reach level 54 quest, it's actually gonna let us pick our nation. So Cabal has this massive wars that can go up to, like, you know, 100 versus 100 and even more. And those wars are happening between the two nations. So one nation is Capella, which has like a little pink color, and the other nation is Procyon, which has a blue color. So you basically pick one of the nations, and then you're gonna meet other people in war. And trust me, war in here is very fun. Of course, you might get stomped by like veteran people, but even then, trust me, like, the war is gonna be good. Now, the one thing that I still haven't talked about is this little cube right here. It's called the event pass. So it's basically like Cabal's way of making a battle pass. So every month and a bit, you're basically gonna have a new one. Alright, and now as you can see, we have the free tier, where basically to level up our battle pass or event pass, all we have to do is to go to the missions, and as you can see, we'll have daily missions and weekly missions over here. So by completing these missions, we gain XP, and this is where we start unlocking all of these goodies. Now, what I think is super important is the premium version, right? If I press purchase, it's actually gonna cost 300 force gems, right? And now you might be thinking, how do I get these force gems? Well, the amount that you have right now is displayed over here. But don't worry, guys. Even though it's a premium currency, in this server, we can actually get it for free. Right, we can actually get it in-game. It's not an issue at all. Right, so one of the ways to get force gems would be to exchange your dungeon points. So whenever you do a dungeon, every single dungeon is gonna have a certain amount of dungeon points that you're gonna be acquiring if you complete that dungeon. And we can then later on change those dungeon points into force gems. And this is definitely one thing that we're gonna be focusing on. It's a little bit later, but just as a little preview, you know, it's really, really important, and I'm gonna be doing it 100%. Okay, let's see. 2 scenario quests. Oh, look at this. So we reached level 50, and as the team goes, we unlock the level 50 quest, so we're gonna do it immediately, and we'll rise our combat power even further. There we go, Bitter Cold 5. Go to this instructor, and do this quest literally in just, what, 30 seconds at most? Go. Lovely stuff. Now take a look at my combat power. As soon as I give in the quest, look at this. It increased. And also at level 50, as I said, we unlock BM2. So I'm actually gonna throw this BM1 away. Yuck, we don't need it. And we're actually gonna use this BM2. Now for BM2, since BM2 works a little bit different, I actually wanna make a new toolbar for my BM2 specifically. So what I'm gonna do is press F2 on my keyboard, and there we go. I'm just gonna put in all of the skills back again. As you can see, when I switch between F1 and F2, the first 2 lines change, but this one stays the same. That's why I actually put all of my defensive and offensive buffs in this line, so it never changes. Alright, so let's just set up the toolbar a little bit. I just kind of want to make it identical to this one for the most part. Add my debuff here and add my healing spell here. There we go. I'll actually keep the dash and fade step on the same locations as well. Now the only switch that we're actually gonna be doing here is we're gonna go to special skills and pick normal attack and put it right here. Because the BM2 actually uses our normal attack, so we won't be needing to use skills. And we can actually take a look at my BM2 in just a second. Okay. But there we go, man. All of the scenario quests are done, and now we have level 50 ones. So the questing is actually gonna be finished very, very soon. This is a place you wanna reach. And this map is unlocked at level 50. Okay? So now let's just do the scenario quest real quick. And look at this, guys. After completing this one, we got this new quest on Preludes. What are you fighting for? This was actually the quest that we wanted all along. And that's why we did all of the scenario quests. So once we do this one, I think there's really no need for us to, you know, keep on doing the quest. We can actually focus on leveling up our character. And then, you know, doing the very first dungeon so we can make our alls. Because if you're not doing Iron Man challenge like me, you'd probably be sitting on the same amount of alls. And you're thinking, man, I just want to get my Apowlet for 3 million. And I want to get my bike for 25 million or so. Right, so now this is gonna be the part where it's coming really, really soon. Okay, so let's go support Lux. This quest wants us to speak with Morrison Officer, which is this guy right here. What are you fighting for? And there you go, you can pick. Either you wanna be Capella, which is gonna have like a pink name, or Procon, which is gonna be the blue name. I like blue more, so I'm just gonna pick the Procon. And there we go. This is basically like a little bit of a title, a little bit of a lore. Okay. Now you can actually press Shift plus C and you're gonna get this little menu right here. Here in the titles, as you can see, I got one title already. I can just equip it. There we go. And look at this. You can see the blue color right here. So whatever title that you have, basically your nation decides the color. And since I like the blue one, I always go with the Procyon. Okay, now this quest, you know what, let's just do this one real quick as well. Just because we took it already, might as well. It's gonna be easy to do nonetheless. And then we're actually gonna be increasing the combat power, because one thing that I forgot to do, since I already reached level 53, I can actually equip all of these rings, right? These are starter rings, they give critical rate and critical damage, which is very, very important. So let's pick them up. You can see in the inventory. There we go, nice and easy. So now our critical rate is maxed out, and we have 153 critical damage, sorry, which is insane. Now also what I didn't show you before, when you start a new account, you actually get this, GM's Blessing level 4. If you actually use this, it's basically gonna be a really, really powerful buff for 3600 seconds. And whenever you're playing, you should use this. And don't worry, we'll get plenty more of this later on. So let me just click on this buff. As you can see, it added over here. If you hover over the buff, you can actually see what kind of stats it gives. And you'll notice immediately that it gives a lot of stats. So you basically want to have this all of the time when you're playing, you want to have this up. Okay, let's not forget to claim our mini coupon boxes. And now we can continue with the quest. And you have this little option here, which is sort items. So instead of just like me putting all of the items, you know, so they look nice and ordered, all I need to do is just press the sort item button, and it's gonna do automatically. Okay, so we reached level 53. We have our BM2, and we already got our nation, right? So what do we do now? Well, now we level the frig up. So let me show you. In the server, we actually don't need to pay any money for dungeon entry items. You can actually just go to this girl right here. She's always gonna be staying here, and she's gonna be one of your best friends in the server. Alright, so we just talk to her, and look at this, free dungeon entries. We press on here, open the store, and we have, okay, wait a second, so the job is calling me. And here I might actually showcase you the power of the BM2, and how it actually changes your character. As you can see, now I'm using these, ooh, that's a nice place to hide, if anything. So now I'm rocking these chakrams. As soon as I jump into my BM2 mode, for a limited duration, I'm actually gonna have like a really big spear. So let's test it out. There we go, BM2. Look at the spear. Then you get this little combo here. You always want to keep it on 1, and you can just minimize it. I usually just put it over here so it looks aesthetic. And all we have to do is just use our normal attacks. Look at this, one-shotted everything. And look at this now. As you can see, we're much stronger with our BM2. Probably not even a spear, it could be like a glaive or something like that. But the weapon itself, it looks really, really good. And you can see the duration right here. So it's gonna last for another 50 seconds. If you don't need it anymore, you can just right-click on it, and it's gonna disappear. And now we're back to our normal self, using normal abilities. The easiest thing, since you have like a dungeon entry already, all you need to do is actually right-click on the entry, and you're gonna be teleported to the dungeon. So let's do that. Look at this. Boom. And this is gonna be the dungeon. Lake in Dust. 90 out of 90 means that in a day, we can maximum do 90 runs. No more than that. And each day, basically, this is gonna reset. Recommended combat power. So it recommends us to have at least 80,000 combat power before attempting this dungeon. It's just a recommendation. It's not like a criteria to enter. But basically, if you're less than 80,000 combat power, you're gonna have a hard time in this dungeon, alright? And since I have like almost triple that, it shouldn't be any issue at all. So let's enter, and our very, very first dungeon. Now I know that these orcs actually give a lot of XP, right? So what if I just try to lure them? I'm gonna go in my BM2 mode, and look at this, level 57, level 58, 59. You see what I mean? Do you see what I mean, how easy it is to level up here? You don't have to kill all of the mobs, but, you know, while we're doing this dungeon, we might as well. There we go. Now, I actually have an auto loot feature, right? To use it, all you have to do is type / and loot. So that means that the loot is not gonna drop on the floor. So look at this. I just disabled the auto loot feature, and as soon as I kill this guy, all of the loot drops on the floor. I could click it to take it, or I could use spacebar. But since I can use this loot feature, it actually is gonna do everything like this automatically for me. So it's a really nice time saver, and it's only available on our server. There we go, let's kill this guy. We can go further. Kill this Minotaur right here, and the gate is gonna open. And you're gonna see how fast and easy this dungeon is, right? Because this is literally the final boss of the dungeon. And look at the XP we're getting from this final boss. And that's crazy. What, I got like 13, 12 level ups in just one run. And there we go. And since I completed the dungeon, it says dungeon points gained 1. So I'm basically gonna get 1 dungeon point for each clear of this dungeon. And as you can see what we gathered here, obviously these items, you know, they could be good, but most of the time they're not gonna be. Really what we're looking for is these upgrade cores. Just gonna put it here. And I think I actually got a bit more. There we go. I got 4 upgrade core lows and 3 upgrade core mediums. This you could sell in the agent shop for pretty hefty profit. Since I'm an Iron Man, I'm actually gonna not sell them and just keep everything for myself. But don't worry, I'm still gonna make money. Now another good tip, as you can see, this mode is gonna expire in 10 seconds. Now what I could actually do is use my aura right now and look at this, 4 seconds. Oh, I cannot. I still need to get a little bit of a better class rank. And that I can achieve by just doing a little bit more quests. But basically, if I were able to use this, it would extend the duration of this battle mode as well. Also, I think this is a good point. On the boss, actually even here, I can show you the combo system. So I press on the combo, and look at this. It basically lets you combo your skills a little bit faster. And once you're in your combo mode, you cannot get knocked down or stunned. So look at this. I press the combo. And now my skills are much faster. As easy as that. We totally forgot that at level 60 we did unlock another Bitter Cold quest, which is like really important to do. So let's just do it immediately. There we go. As this should be a very easy quest. Even for multiple targets you can still use your combo. Okay, I did fail it that time. All you have to do is just manage to click the other target in time. And then you can keep using your skills and not to break the combo. And look at this, at level 60 we actually got the Summon Astral Bike special skill. So this is basically gonna be the main skill where we use our mounts. So let's say if you'd already made your very first 20 something million, because let's just put it on the market. Well, not actually put it, but just see how much I would get for 6 upgrade core lows. But we'll be still able to extract all of this gear. And let me show you how to do it. All you need to do is press item extraction mode. It's gonna auto-select all of the gear, and you press extract. And you basically get a lot of materials from this. And those materials are gonna be really useful later on. Okay, now we're approaching the godly stage of XP. So look at this, we have this one minion over here, and these weird statues all over here. Now basically, if we destroy the statues, each statue is gonna generate 2 minions. So what I wanna do here is basically destroy all of the statues, then go into my BM2 and start hitting all the mobs. And you're gonna see how fast we're actually gonna level. So let me just destroy all of these statues really quick. We can see that the mobs are spawning. And you can pretty much do this indefinitely, right? Because these statues, they actually respawn. There we go, look at this. A nice wave of minions, BM3, BM2. And just watch the XP grow. Look at my XP bar. Every single hit. Damn, this is crazy XP right there. Level 90 already. And this is basically where you want to stay. You know, you can get here up until level 100. Maybe even more if you really want to. But I think level 100, or at least level... Well, yeah, level 100 is gonna be more than fine. Finish these guys off. That's what she said. And now look at this, the statues are reappearing again. So let's just destroy them one more time. Spawn even more minions. And all of these minions, they still give us like armor pieces, which we can extract later on. So this is actually really good for generating alls as well. So not only you're farming your XP, but you're also getting like really rich at the same time.